Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Student Organization Virtual Involvement landing page. While it is currently not possible to welcome you at our traditional in-person involvement fairs like Passport to ASU, Westfest, Sparky's Carnival, and Club Hub, we wanted to provide another opportunity in addition to our virtual involvement fair Engage. This virtual involvement landing page is for you to hear from current students about what being involved in student organizations at ASU is like, and the Office of Student Organizations at ASU supports a wide variety of club categories. And during this session today, we will talk about sports, wellness, and recreation student organizations. There will be 7 subsequent sessions to discuss the other club categories following this, so stay tuned on that. My name is Tessie Bracken, and I am the coordinator with the Office of Student Organizations and Leadership. And I'm hosting the discussion today, and the format is going to include a panel discussion from the students that you see here. They're all leaders in sports, wellness, and recreation student organizations too. I'll introduce the club panelists right now. Sierra Harding, President of Sailing at ASU. Gregory Carnesi, President of Active Minds at ASU. CJ Sowards, President of Men's Ultimate Frisbee at ASU. And Leah Jameson, Vice President of Caliente, the Women's Ultimate Frisbee team at ASU. So we're going to go through a few preset questions, and I will explain how you can search for student organizations on Sun Devil Sync following the questions, because that is our student engagement platform where you can view all organizations at ASU. Now let's get started, panelists. The first question is, how has involvement positively impacted your college experience?
So for me, when I started ASU, I moved from out of state and I didn't know anyone else coming to school. So getting involved was really how I was able to connect to the ASU community and make friends. So being involved just made that transition a lot easier with starting college.
I think involvement has provided me with this sense of belonging within a community that you don't necessarily find through just your classes or through eating in the dining hall or on your floor. You really feel like you're a part of something bigger. And not only that, but you make real friends who are able to follow you throughout college and help you as you go through college. So I think really it's just positively helped me by providing me the sense of belonging and helping me meet a bunch of people who have really made my life a lot better.
I know with myself, joining a club and organizations, it really helped shrink ASU because of how large it can feel and be. It's the largest university in the country, so finding a group that you fit into and being able to actively participate with people who, have the same mindset as you in that group, it really shrinks it down and it allows you to grow within a group rather than trying to find a way to grow in the masses.
This is all true for me too, and I think being involved in a club has also added some structure to my day. Like I know where I'm going to be at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and I know that that's a time that I'm looking forward to. I got to get my homework done before I go there. Yeah, it's helpful to plan your time around, and it's helpful to know that there's people there who care about you and like the same things you do.
Awesome, all great answers. The next question is, how did getting involved help shape your identity?
Getting involved with Ultimate Frisbee has introduced me to a lot of other people in the community because there's other places where you can play Ultimate outside of the university. So I've met people from our professional team based in Tucson, some club players and league players. So it's really, since I'm an out-of-state student, I really didn't know anybody coming here. So now I don't just know students, I also know people in the broader community as well.
For me personally, joining the sailing club gave me a new skill and hobby that I can have for life. I'd never stepped on a sailboat before I came to the first practice. And now I've gone on trips sailing in California, and it was just a really great way to find something new that I can continue way after college.
At least in my case, Active Minds is kind of the odd club out in this case, since we are a mental health advocacy club on campus. And so kind of going into college, I was really soft spoken. I never really spoke about my beliefs or advocated for what I believed in. And so joining an advocacy organization kind of forced me to step out of my comfort zone and really talk about the things that were important to me and explore that side of me that I never really touched before.
For myself, joining Men's Ultimate Frisbee, it really helped me step out and become a leader, not only in the team but in the community, planning fundraising events and Feed My Starving Children events, and trying to get everyone together from my organization just to try and step out and do something good for the community. It's really helped me grow as a person and find where I stand in the community that I'm involved in.
Awesome. Thank you all. The third question is, what was your most memorable club or organization experience?
So the first thing that comes to my mind, at least, is last year in the second semester, right before everything went online, Active Minds partnered with two other organizations to host a Valentine's Day event on Valentine's Day for people who didn't have anyone to really spend it with. You know, you could come to our event and we had a bunch of these fun activities. We had karaoke. That was the best part of the night, honestly. And it was really nice to just kind of spend a day that is really associated with loneliness widely with people and just have a good time with it.
I remember my freshman year, we got to travel to Idaho to a tournament. We all got to stay in a house together. And despite, besides the tournament being a great tournament to be a part of and having a great time on the field, we also had a great time off the field, all spending time together. We had a ping pong tournament. I lost miserably, but it was still really fun playing games together and staying together in a place I'd never been before.
For me, it was, we were competing in San Francisco and I was sailing with my best friend. We sail in doubles and it got really windy and we flipped the boat, which you're not supposed to do, and you lose the race. But we were in the bay trying our best to get it flipped over and laughing, and we could hear our team just yelling and cheering for us to get it flipped back over. Even though it's, not what you're supposed to do, it was a great bonding experience and a really fun memory to look back on.
For myself, probably like the best memory that I have is this year or this past year when ASU played Kansas at home for men's basketball. Almost half of my entire team dressed up in Penguin suits and went to the basketball game and all sat together, and we looked like a bunch of fools, but we upset Kansas, and we were just cheering and getting yelled at by so many people just because we were dressed as penguins. And like, it's stupid, but it made it so much better doing that with your friends.
All right, last question. What advice do you have for students who are nervous about joining a club or organization?
This year it's going to be very hard because you would normally get to meet us in person. You'd walk up to us at our table and there'd be all these former and older veterans in the clubs who are there to just introduce you and try and convince you to join their club. And this year with Engage being online, it's going to be important for you to reach out. But even if you can't find the space on the Engage platform, and if you go on ASU Sun Devil Sync, almost every club has their main primary contact information. Reach out, email. I've given out my phone number to many new recruits coming in already who have reached out. Just feel free. Don't be nervous to reach out. We'll always be willing to answer because we always want new members in our club.
Definitely seconding that. I think the biggest piece of advice I would say is just go for it. Worst comes to worst, the only thing that you lose by going to a club meeting is a night. And if you don't like it, you don't have to show up again. And really take the opportunity to engage with ASU clubs. ASU has over 700 different student organizations, so there's really a place for everyone. And it might take a while to find that, but just keep searching, because when you do find that place, it's important, and it contributes a lot to your college experience. So just go for it, just do it.
And to follow up on that with making sure you reach out and just, going for it, feel free to come to a couple events before you decide either way. I know with everyone having to kind of learn how to run a club online, especially sports clubs, because that's not how that normally goes. It's going to take a few events for you to kind of meet everybody and kind of circulate through. So just take your time to make a decision, and remember that everyone else who is new is nervous, and all the previous members were also nervous to join.
I second all of that. Worst thing that happens is you spend an hour learning that you don't like something, learning something about yourself, but best case scenario is you end up with some friends for life, and I think that's a chance I'm willing to take, and I hope you are too.
They're all awesome answers, and I think they're going to be super helpful to incoming students this year. I think CJ said it right, like it's going to be really hard to get involved, but we're all in this together, and there's people on this call right now that are willing to talk to anyone new coming into ASU this year. So take advantage and look at Sun Devil Sync and do all that kind of stuff to try to get involved. But yeah, that's the last of our questions for today. So if you want to learn more, like CJ and some of these other panelists had mentioned, browse through all of the student organizations at ASU by visiting sundevilsync.asu.edu. But that being said, thanks for tuning in, and be sure to make some of these experiences part of your Sun Devil story. And go Devils!